a screen to be stuck on. I was rubbing my nose. All right, give me a break. Let me pull this up. Let me turn off the volume on this thing. On the unlikely chance that anybody will have seen. My nose is cold. Give me a break. I have my little princess right here. Princess. Where are you guys? So I can see me. There I am. Look it. Come here. Come here. Oh. She's going to be 17 this summer. She's arthritic. She's got, this is Imogen. My other kitty died. I've got 2 left now. This is Imogen. She's just a princess, and she's got all sorts of arthritis, and she's getting a shot for it. She's got kidney problems, and she's getting in water. I have to give her infusions of water, and she's getting special kitty food, and she just wants so much love and affection all the time, huh? Sweetens. Yeah, she's just meowing. She's upset because Hamilton, her brother's sitting in her chair. Anyway, can I get to editing, Imogen? This is what I came for. All right. She's my sweet princess. And she sheds like crazy. Come on, let's get down. So you gotta be very gentle with her because she's so old and arthritic. I mean, she's probably like a 90-year-old woman. And now I got cat hair on my nose. That's what I was doing. So it's 9:30 at night here in California. I wrote a Wikipedia page last night. I rewrote a Wikipedia page in 3 hours. And I went to bed and I slept such a good night. I had such a great night sleeping because I fell asleep thinking, wow, I just did something that felt so satisfying. I had no idea who it was that I was editing last night. And I just thought some family member is going to stumble across the Wikipedia page I wrote for this man, an Egyptologist, and just smile. And they'll say, God, look at Dad's page. He's so respected. He's so, wow, I always, he's just going to go up in his family's esteem. And I think it just made me feel good because I don't know who he was and they don't know who I am. And it felt good to make a difference to somebody's life. So, what else are you going to do at 9:43 at night? So I'm recording this on the 27th of April, 2025. And I've got lots of things I should be doing, but there's something about editing Wikipedia just is so satisfying. And I prefer stubs to create stubs, not create stubs, to repair stubs because they've already passed the notability standards. So that part that's so difficult to do, to prove, it's done. I don't have to worry about it. So what I did, let me go. Where am I keeping these screens at? So many screens open. I went here. My group is focusing on archaeology right now. And I need to be a good role model. Oh, there's the share. And be a good role model and get some of the work done. And there's so much work to be done. So what you're looking at right now is the stub page. So when somebody sees on Wikipedia that there is a stub, that the article is bad and it needs rewriting, then they add a little tag at the bottom of the page. It says stub. And then they go alphabetically onto this category. In this case, it says American Archaeologist Stubs. And these are all of them. I took the first one off of here last night. It was the first one in the top. So what I did tonight is I don't know who any of these people are, and I could spend my entire next 4 hours clicking on each one trying to come to a choice. So I closed my eyes and moved the screen up and down a few times and clicked on this one right here. So this is the one I'm going to rewrite. Jotham Johnson. I have no idea who this is. And the reason why I picked American archaeologist stubs is because I like doing biographies. I also like books, to write books, but biographies of living people or not living people are kind of fun. And I don't have to be an expert on the topic because it's a human being. So, they kind of are this, they have their ways of doing things. So, I mean, it's the early history, career, personal life, books, that's kind of what it is. So the one I did last night was totally new. This one is also new. So I'm going to click on this link. Oh, the reason why I did Americans is because I really like to use newspapers.com, and use newspapers.com is generally American. And I really like to get into that and look at it for from a historical perspective. And if I was trying to write Australian archaeological studs, which there is a category for Australian and just about everything you can imagine, there's so many pages that need to be rewritten, then I'd probably use something like Trove, which is the site that Richard Saunders is always talking about because it focuses on our Australian. And I'm not doing other archaeological stubs from across the country because, well, for one thing, I really can only read and write well in English. I mean, I can do Spanish, but not great. So somebody else should do those, that they'd have to translate things. So, well, heck, there's how many's on here? A lot. See, here it's got American scientist stubs, archaeologist stubs, American archaeologist stub categories. Oh Lord, there's so much work that needs to be done, you guys. I hope some people come and join our team. So let's look at his article. Okay, I have to stop share. Oh no, it came up. Okay, so Jotham Johnson needs additional citations for verification. This has been here since 2010. Somebody flagged this thing. That is so disrespectful. Nobody has done anything really since 2010. How sad is that? So this is basically the whole article right here. And I should be able to use the sources that are in here and just go through them and clean it up and make it into a nice Wikipedia article. He's got some references. He's clearly notable because the New York Times made a obituary for him. And if they're going to have an obituary for him in the New York Times, that he's notable. He's done some books or something, some kind of works. And is an external link, which is a New York Times article for his death. That's all got to go. See how it says down here? He's a stub. Look at this. Born in 1905, died in 1967. He's a University of Pennsylvania alumni. Worked at the New York University faculty, Princeton University alumni, presidents of the United Archaeological Institute of America. This is all awesome. So what I did is I took this article and I wrote on the talk page that I closed my eyes and picked this off of a stub list. So I just left a little note and it says, what a mess this is, but I should have no problem making it tidy. If you have something to add, where have you been? Leave it for me as I'm going to give this a complete rewrite. And that's what's going on is this thing has just been sitting here all this time. It's so sad. So nobody's even written on the talk page. So I leave those kind of notes and I train my team to, it's a good idea to do that. So people will, if they have a problem with the article or they've been watching it or they're about to rewrite it, they'll come and tell you right away. You should see a post. I don't know how far I'm going to get on this. I'm sleeping already. I'm sleepy, and this is way early for me. So what I did is I created a sandbox. I took my sandbox, which is public. Anybody can see my sandbox. And I copied all the text over and I pasted it into my sandbox. The only thing it's missing is the categories. And then I removed the little stub thing that said this is a stub. And I added code that I always use on everything, which is this style of editing that I really like. Ooh, gets rid of all of this nasty stuff that's in here. I have I have something turned on in it's called Citex. I can't remember what it's called, but it makes my code look colorful so I can find things easier. And so most people who I don't use visual editor, which I think is just too bizarre to use. I can't use it. It's just too easy. It's like using a Word document. This is how I taught myself how to train, how I taught myself how to edit. And this is the way I edit. So I use this, which is a little more complicated looking code, but it's really not that complicated once you get into it. So I took this short description that was here. It said American archaeologist, and I added in his birth year and death year. This is the thing that will come up when you're doing a search for the person's name. It'll pop up American archaeologist, 1905, 1967. So description has to be very tight. So I changed that. This is just codes that I use. Don't worry about it. And what I'm going to do, what I did already, is I went through and I took all of these citations. So these URLs, I copied them and I put them on another monitor and I archived them. And I made sure that they open. At least some of them I archived. I have a subscription to New York Times, so it opens up for me, but I want to archive it for people who don't have that ability. So I've gone through all of the citations and I've taken them all out and copied them. Ooh, boy, I can do this, Susan, you can do it. Let's see how far I can get. So now what I want to do is it's such a short article. I don't need to have these citations in here. I should be able to recreate this. The lead of an article, which is this part right here, we don't put citations in there. It's just not done. It's supposed to be just text. The only reason you would put a citation in the lead of the article is when it's really contentious, like it's a hot topic and you just really make sure that it's been proved. And so normally you write the lead of the article after you're done writing the body of the article. And all you're going to do in the lead is pull key moments or key things out of the body and put them into the lead. So you really don't need a citation for the lead. But this article was written so long ago that and been forgotten that it's probably kind of the style that was before. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, see, it's nice to see mine's pink. I'm going to get rid of everything at all that is in here. So everything from one ref to this with a closed ref, I'm going to delete it. And as I said, I'm not too worried about it because it's the lead of our article. And this is my sandbox I'm working in, you guys. I'm not working on the real article. This is just Susan Gerbic's Gerbic sandbox. Delete. And then let's see what we're left with. AB 1926. What's an AB? Guess I'll find out, huh? You got his AB. Gone. Another one. Okay, so watching the sausage being made. I'll put this art. I'm doing this live on Facebook Live. Not that I expect anybody to be watching, but I want to be as transparent as possible. How this works. All right. So that's where we're left with. Show preview. Now, much nicer. No, I got to get rid of this external link because it's the New York Times article. We don't put external links with the same thing that we're using as a citation in here. Wow, what a sad page. All right. External links gone. All right. So all I'm doing is I'm hitting show preview. And this makes it so when I edit, I do a lot of show preview and I don't make publish after every edit I make, which is why I don't have a lot of edits. So if you were to look at my edit history and see exactly some people count how many, they try to get their edit count really high because for prestigious reasons, I guess. I don't know why, but I think they're editing and then saving, editing, saving, editing, saving. I do a bunch of edits and then I save. Yeah, I could lose it if the power goes out, but it's unlikely. All right, so this is just the meat that is there now that all the citations are out. So then the next thing I do is I'm going to go to a Wikipedia page that I wrote the other day, and I'm going to hit edit. I've got it up over here, and I'm going to look at that page that I just created. And I'm going to go back down here to my code. And the page I created recently was for Stephen Handlin. I wrote this fresh. So I'm going to copy the code that's on his Wikipedia article and paste it in over here so that I can just copy and paste. And that's how I train to do it best. Yeah, nobody's looking at my edit, my editing on Facebook. Almost 10 here. So, it's pretty late most places. So I'm going to take his name out. I'm going to put his name in. I'm going to take the photo out of this guy. Gone. I'm going to take out where his birthplace is because that's not where he went to school. I'm going to take his college out. I'm going to take known for. And as I go through the citations and learn things, I'm going to put in, fill this in. For example, okay, he has died. So I need to find a Wikipedia page of somebody who's died so I can copy the code for birth and death. Harry Houdini. How about that? He's dead. I'm going to go to his Wikipedia page. And there is birth date, birthplace, death date, death place. Copy that code. Put it right here. All right. So this is Harry Houdini's information. Died in Detroit. So now I'll have to verify this birthday and death day, but that should be pretty easy. Born, right? Death day and age. So he was born in this guy. So this is the year he was born. So he was born in 1905, October 21st, 1905, 1967, February 8th. All right. So death place, I'll verify that. I'll verify where he was born, his nationality, alma mater. It's late. Known for notable works. Let's see if I did this right so far. So this should be giving him an info box. And it should have, there we go. He died February 8th, 1967 at the age of 61. Oh my gosh, I'm a year older than he is. All right, so I'm not saving it yet. And as I fill in more stuff, it'll expand. So I can get rid of the Harry Houdini page. All right, going back to Stephen, because I liked the way I did this. So I'm going to copy the categories. So early life and education, see the little equal signs? Career. Now these could be called different things, but this is generally what I do. I have a category in here that I don't need for him. Here's awards and honors. Usually goes under works. Professional organizations and associations. Personal life. Do you believe the personal life is one of the most read areas of a Wikipedia article? References. Okay, it's already there. Now I'm going to use something different. I'm not using riff list. I'm using this. I'm going to have to put a big old space and then I have to put 2 closing brackets. And there's external links already. Blah, 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 authority control. Okay. So that's what I use for Stephen Hanlon. I probably don't need to refer to this again, but as soon as I close this Wikipedia article, I know I'm going to need it again. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing because I'm not screen sharing. What a dork I am. Good thing nobody's watching. Oh, I do these videos just so I can say I did them and I don't feel so lonely. My cats are sound asleep over here, you guys. So I copied this chunk from Stephen Hanlon and Wikipedia article and took all the Stevens stuff out and added in just a little bit. And then I took this code right here, this and this from Harry Houdini and pasted it in here. And then I took this death date and birthday from here and here, which I'd got to verify and added it there. Then I went through Stephen Hanlon's page and I copied these that I had used. And I'm going to make them give some space just so I have some working area. Show you what that looks like in a minute. I'm going to be out of town for a very long time. And I don't really want to take on a task right now that is going to, that I'm not going to finish before I leave. Okay, so this is all this right here is what was there. I just took all the citations out, all the little code that was in here. I removed it and threw it away. So as I said, the lead is something that you write last. I'm going to leave it right there because it might be perfect. It might be just what I want to use and I will do it last. Like I'm sure this part right here, Johnson was married to the former Sarah Jean Coates. I'm sure that's not going to be something that I want in the lead. So I'm going to take it out, put it down into her personal life. And I'll deal with that later, trying to find a citation for it. He was the chairman of classics at the time of his death from apparent heart attack. That shouldn't be in the lead, that's for sure. I'll leave it there for the moment. All right. Now, I took all the citations out and read, and I didn't read through them. I made them, I put citations. So let's look and see what I'm going to use. First, what I'm going to use is this New York Times article. See if it pops up on my screen here. Yep, there it goes. New York Times article, 61 dice, chairman of classics at New York University. So here's the article. It's just this little thing this big. Okay, let's see if we can read it. There we go. And so there's the article. And that's all it is. That's what I got to work with. Okay, so I'm not going to use this at the moment. What I want to do is I want to get all my citations together. This is how I work. So I'm going to go over here under this reference area where it says rough with the little closing crinkle things. And I'm going to go up here to templates, site web. Now on my other screen, I'm going to move the New York Times article so I can see it on another monitor. And here, who wrote the article for this New York Times? I don't see anybody writing the article. It's an obituary. It's just written by the obituary people. Yeah, not seeing anything. So there's no last name or first name put here. Title. The title is professor, I'm just copying and pasting. And then the URL, copy paste. Website name is newyorktimes.com. Publisher is New York Times. See, I use the New York Times a lot. I'm accessing it today. I just clicked on that and it says the 28th, even though it's the 27th, because I don't know how to fix that. Show, hide, extra fields. I always use this. So here's the archive URL. So I archived this over here on the Wayback Machine. Copy, paste. Well, I found that it had already been archived. So I'm going to paste that in there. And the archive date was June 10th, 2023. That's the version I caught. The language is English. Now it is on page 39. If it had multiple pages, then you'd put it under pages. It can be really finicky, these things. It is published. I'm copying, pasting on the date. You can't abbreviate these months. If you try to abbreviate the months with FEB or anything like that, then you're going to get an error. So I don't think there's anything else I need to put in here. If I had a quote from the article I wanted to put in here, I could put it right there. But what I need to do, because of this, the way I edit, the citation style I use, which is Reflex, is I need to put a code word. So I'm going to put New York Times obit, and that is going to be my, I'll explain in a minute. So I'm going to insert that. So here it is. I'm going to copy that without the commas, things. I'm going to put it up here under here, and I'm going to make my code. I always say this little rhyme. Well, it's not a rhyme. I say, crinkle, crinkle, R, bar, name, uncrinkle, uncrinkle. That's how I remember how to do this code. So what will happen is, I'm going to write obit because I need something to write. So what will happen is, I'm going to preview this. See, here's the word obit with the little number 1, and it's going to tie to this right down here. Here's the code I just wrote. This is the name of the article, New York Times, the date, page number, archive from the original. So if I want the original, I can click it here, or I can click on here and I'll get the archive. It was archived. The version I put up was 10th of June, 2023. And I looked at this article on the 28th of April, 2025, even though today is 27th, but whatever. And I need to pause for a second and go turn off my recorder. Hold on. Typing all of Mark Edwards' cassette tapes, and I'm doing it in the other room, and it's taking me for the rest of my life. I think you have to do it in real time. You have to let the code run, just run the cassette, and then one side at a time. Then you have to go and clean it up and everything. So I just want to turn it off. I don't think I'm gonna do any more tonight. Okay, so that one's done. Now I will read that in a bit. Let me get these others in here. I'm closing all the screens I don't need. Like, I do not need this archive anymore. So I'm going to close that. Okay, the next article that was used in here is an article for Archaeological Magazine. It's a 404, so it's not found. So I'm going to skip that for the moment. Okay, the next thing I found is this. And yep, there it is. This was used in the article. It is a book called 350 Notable Newarkers. I guess those are people who live in Newark. The Familiar and the Forgotten. The famous, the familiar, and the forgotten. So 350 notable Newarkers. So this is the whole article here that I have. So I'm going to cite this. Let me put it out of my way. So I'm going to come back down here. Template. It's a book. So I guess I can use the book. It's Google Books. All right. So the URL to this thing is this. And today's says the 28th. Okay, so the name of the book. Oh gosh, I can't copy it. It doesn't want to copy it, so I have to type it. The FAMOUS FNMILIAR. The 350. It's all caps anyway. All right. Okay, now I need to figure out who wrote this. It's on page 67. It's by Guy G. Sterling, 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 Guy G. It was published. I'm clicking in links. It's published by, and is published in 2014. It was published by XLIBRIS Corporation. And edition, I'm not worried about that. Okay, so its rough name I'm going to make is Sterling, is the rough name I'm going to use. I'm going to take a quick glance and see if Guy G. Sterling has a Wikipedia page, because if he does, I want to link to his Wikipedia page. So Guy, American journalist, author, and historian. Yep, he sure does have a Wikipedia page, and it is not in good shape. I'm not writing it. So I'm going to come over here, and I have this code memorized. Equals author link equals Guy. Did I do it right? Let's find out if I did that right. Well, I've got to use it somewhere. Otherwise, it's not going to be Sterling. It's the name I'm using. So I'm going to come up here. Single crinkle R, bar, STTERLING, uncrinkle crinkle. Okay, now it should come up. It's like magic. So there's the citation. There it is. And ta-da! I did the author link correctly. So it will come up. There's the link to the book, the publisher, the page number, when I looked at the book, and the name of the guy who wrote it. So I'm going to leave this open. I'm going to close this page about Guy Sterling. I'm going to close this thing I found, gave me more information, and I'm going to go just to the paragraph that I have. Okay, so I'm saving that off to the side. So he's in a book. All right, now I found this other link. I have no idea what this is. Let's take a look at what this is. People say, well, are you research? How do you research this stuff? How do you research what you're editing? It's like, I'm not doing any research. What kind of research do you think I'm doing? Like I know anything about colonial monuments, archaeology of Minturre. Like I have any expertise in that? No, I'm writing a Wikipedia article about a person who is a human being. I do know about human beings. So this is not his book. This is written by Irene Baldromano. So this is not his book. So let's see if we can search in this book. So what's this guy's name? Johnson. Should I try to search for his first and last name? Worried that it might come up with a. Okay, here we go. He's on page 162 and he's in the index bunches of times on page 329. Now, what does it say in 162? Is this 162? Yeah. Okay. It says, before the systemic work of Jotham Johnson, Minturre was explored by various antiquity. I can't even read this darn thing. Let's see. Can I make it bigger? Oops, that's smaller. Oops. Before the systematic work of this guy, Minturre was explored by various antiquarians, including this person and this person. Sculpture finds. Okay. So is that all it says? Is his name here anywhere else? All right, it says up here, the only major collection of stone sculpture in the Mediterranean. And under the direction of this guy who died, there that confirms the birthday, who received his PhD from the University of Pennsylvania. The 8 sculptures in the UPM, University of Pennsylvania Minturre, represent a small fraction of the more than 100 pieces of sculpture uncovered by Johnson, all of which were included in a catalog by this person. A study of the sculpture included the 8 pieces in the University of Pennsylvania miniature. All right. And so this is going to talk about one of the sculptures excavated. So this is good. So I want to use this in, because it talks about his expertise. So I want to use that. So I'm going to go back down to here. I'm not going to go into great depth of it right now. I don't even know what that word means, but that's okay. Here's another book. So I'm going to use template book. The person who wrote the book is Romano Irenebald. The name of the book is, copy and paste. I need to get the full title because this is, here's the full title. Dang, that's a title. I'll show you in a minute. It was published in 2011. The publisher is University. Can copy it, huh? Use the copy and paste, Susan. Don't type. You're going to misspell it. ISBN number. I don't have to have it, but if I have it, here it is. Okay. And he is quoted on, well, he's talked about on page, I'll have to look it up again. Here's the URL. Oh, I got to put the URL. Access today. Book link. I'm not going to archive this because it's already archived. I'm on page, what page is this? $162. And if I find that he's quoted in other pages that I use, then I'll have to deal with that. All right. So I'm going to call this Romano. I'm on a book. So extra language is English. I don't need any of this other stuff, right? The chapter is called copy. SCULPTURE from ULONIA MINTURNAE 83. I assume this is important. 90. MINTURNAE. I have no idea what that is. COLONIA. That's right. I'm going to copy that. Insert. Okay, so then I'm going to come over here to where I have these other ones. So, oops, I put it in the wrong area, didn't I? I'm going to put MINTURNAE. Crinkle, crinkle, R, bar, whatever the thing is, the code I have, uncrinkle and crinkle. So this doesn't belong here. What are you doing, Gerbic? It goes down here. Go where you belong. All right, so let's look again. Still nobody's watching. Ha. And they're all curious about this. You know, people on Twitter, these UFO Twitter people are just about ready to just lose their minds over me editing, thinking I'm deleting everything. And oh my gosh, I'm showing how it works. This is the excitement of how it works. So see, I've got those three here. They're just placeholders for me. And I've got 1, 2, 3. See, 3 citations. See, here's the name of it. Irene Bald Romano, sculpture from Colonia, whatever that word is. Classical sculpture, catalog of the Tripod, Greek and Roman stone sculpture in the University of Pennsylvania Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology. That's the name of the book. Here's the ISBN number, University Press, the page number. I should look and see if she's got a Wikipedia article, because if so, I want to put her in there. That's just how I do it. Some people, they write the whole article and then they go back and they put the links in, but I don't do it that way. And there's ROMANO. There's no right or wrong as long as you remember to get it over there. Okay, so no, she does not have. There's Romano cheese. Somebody else, no. So this Irene Romano, I just put Irene Romano in, and she doesn't have a Wikipedia article. So that's done. Okay, so I just put that article over here. I'm not reading it. I'm just putting it to the side. It'll just sit there patiently waiting for me until I get to it. Okay, here's another one. This is another quote that was in. So I'm going to Google books. I didn't do any of this research. It was already here. What's his name again? Johnson. Okay. There it is. Jotham Johnson. Page 171, page VII, page 183. Okay, and then there's index. Teachers, I was later defined as guides. Okay, so let's look in here. Private home in the ancient city of, okay, scratched on the plastered wall was a sketch of the zodiac with astronomical notations, the Greek alphabet. Ooh, this sounds interesting. All right, he deciphered the names of planets and the signs of the zodiac where they had stood when the child was born. Okay. And that's page 171. Nothing there. 170. Nope. So I'm going to use this page. 171 is the one I'm going to link to. Now, again, you notice I'm not reading it right now. That's not important right at this moment. What I want to do is just get all these cited and then just pull them down one at a time to create the Wikipedia article. So about the book, The person who wrote it, his name is Bertman, Stephen. Stephen. Okay, he wrote this July 14th, 2005. Remember what I said, I have to spell these words out. It doesn't listen. You have to do it like that. Here's the name of the book. Handbook to Life in Ancient Mesopotamia. Oh, what else? Here's the ISBN number. It's published by, oh, here's the rest of the book title. And page, we'll come back to that. 171, right? Today's date. And published by OUP USA in 2005. Let's use Bertman book. And it's all case sensitive. So if I used a capital B in a minute, it won't work. It has to be all the same. Yeah, page 171. Here's the URL. Show hide extra fields, language. I'm not archiving because it's already archived. And I don't see anything that's else. I mean, even if you skip something, big deal. All right, there it is. Back over here. What is this about? It's a book. Let's write that. Crinkle, crinkle, R bar, whatever word I used, uncrinkle, uncrinkle. Now let's see if Bertram has a Wikipedia article that I can link to. His name is Stephen. My fingers aren't working right. Bertman. All right. Nope, no Wikipedia article for this guy. So nope, sorry, you don't get an author link. All right, I'm almost done. Other than that archaeological magazine that's given me a 404. I think I am going to end early. All right, so this is something he wrote. It's called Inscriptions, Part 1. Appendix of Classical References to the Site, Volume 2, Volume 1933. So 138 pages. This is a book he wrote. So I'm not going to read it. Here it is. I don't need this. Some old school stuff. So I don't need this, even though it's here. I think I can go like this. Put the URL. And then close that. I think that will link to the book. I don't know. I could put it under external links too, but I'm not reading that book. I probably will not use it because it's his work. And so I'm writing this Wikipedia article about the person, not about his book. And even if it was about his book, I wouldn't be reading it. So I don't need to cite it. It's already in there. So let's see what happens. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 articles that we think are going to use to create this Wikipedia page. There's a little hyperlink to the book. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 citations. So, all right. What we've done is we have done like a start. So I've saved the, what is this called? The lead that was written before, and I've taken all of the citations out of it. So it's all clean. It's got to need to be gone through. But again, as I said, I write this last. So I'll deal with that later. Here's the info box, which is right here, waiting to have things put in there. So as I find out things by reading the New York Times or one of these other articles, I'll fill it in here, and it'll expand his info box. I should look and see if there's a photo. I'm almost 100% sure there will not be one. Let me go to Wikimedia Commons. Oh, it's so frustrating that there's not photos of people. Really frustrates me. Okay, so there are 3 that are pulling up. Let's see what they are. No idea what this is. Let me share it over here so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, this photo came up. He's got a little kitten. Is this the right guy? 1931, 1932, a photograph of group photo. Yale University Library. Is it him? Which one is he? Oh, thank you for uploading this photo with almost no information on it. Archive of photos, negative. I wish it was this photo. Wow, look at the kitty. They look, oh, he's got a kitten too. Look at his shoes. They're sandals. Out working on a dig somewhere. How nice. They were so happy, these people. Okay, so I don't see anything. File information, structured data. Aha. Relative position within image. Well, thank you for relative image, relative position. All right, so what I can do, I can add this photo once I kind of figure out which one of these guys he is. I'm not going to crop it because, yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to set this aside. This will be dealt with later. So there is a photo. Was there any other photos? There was 2 others. I didn't look at them. Okay, so I have something. Men with kittens. Okay, this is an image of, it's a sketch. Let me let you see. It's a sketch. No idea what that is. What's this? Okay. Here's a text in here. I have no idea what I'm looking at. His name is probably in here somewhere. Oh, Johnson. Nope. Roger B. Johnson. Okay, so this photo is not have anything to do with him. This photo has nothing to do with him. This does, but I just don't know who it is in the picture. So we do have a photo. Is it a good photo? I don't know. Which guy is he in it? I don't know. We'll deal with that. At least we have something. Men with kittens. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this and call it a day. It's a day. I'm going to go over to my cassette tapes and clean it up before I go to bed because I am yawning. So I've made a huge start on this. So you have to put something. Publish changes. And I like to look it over, make sure I didn't make any horrible mistakes. Again, this is my sandbox. See, sandbox. So it's an area where you work. And I've made like two saves on this. So all the work I've done so far, all I've done is 2. So I might not work on this online so you can watch me do this, but what I'm going to do, maybe tomorrow if I have some time, I've got a long list of things I got to get done. Like I said, I'm going out of town, and I'm going to read over all of these different things, learn what a miniature, I should probably find out what that is, isn't it? Let's see, what is that? Seems to have specialized. I'm going to Wikipedia. Minturnae. It's a clay commune in Italy, situated in the north bank of, it's a place in Italy. Mintur in, oh yeah, it's a place in Italy. So it's not a thing, it's a place. So I guess he was an expert on this place, ancient Greece. No, it's in Italy. Okay. So that's what that is. So it's probably some sort of structures he found there or something. So I'm going to read through all these. I'm looking for biographical information, like where he went to school, what was his early life like, whatever it says. So I'll be looking at the obituary, and then that other one that's on Newark. I think it was Newark. And then the other biographical one. And I'm going to go through each one. And every time I find something that is of interest, I'm going to place it in my own words, or quotes if I have to, but it's best to put my own words. I'll put early life and education. I'll put it in here. His career under here. If there's any rewards or honors or professional organizations and association or personal life, I'll just take it and put it in there. So if it says like about his death, he died of a heart attack on such and such day, I'll put that in here. And he died at work or wherever it says, I'll put that into personal life. And then I will take this code, remember this code, and I'll put it at the end of whatever it is. So that'll be my citation. So I can write this with the 4 citations because he's already passed notability standards. He's already got a Wikipedia page. He has the reasons why he passes notability standards are because he has an obituary in the New York Times, which is a freaking big deal. He's also in this book about notable New Yorkers. He's also in these other 2 books with more than just a brief mention. I mean, there's a little more than there. I think Irene talks about how he was an influence of hers because of the work he did in this very important thing. Also because he's held some prestigious positions. He was president of the Archaeological Institute of America, which has its own Wikipedia article, which means it's probably pretty good. He's got degrees in some pretty interesting places. So he stands out from his peers in ways that other archaeologists don't. So there's plenty of notability. He's already got a Wikipedia page. Here's somebody he worked with named Karen, and a Turkish archaeologist. So hopefully I'll find out some more information. I will just fill it in. It's all I got to do at this point is fill it in. And then once it's filled in with using these 4 citations down here, then what I'm going to do is go and do a search for him using newspapers.com. Well, I'll start off with a Google search and see what it pulls up. I'm looking for citations that are going to help me fill in the article. So I'm not looking about him giving talks about his subject of his expertise. I that's not something that's going to be used in his biography. I'm not interested in that. I know that surprises a lot of people. They think that you're supposed to use their work. No, if so, everybody would have a Wikipedia page. The only way you get a Wikipedia article is if other people write about you, and they write about you saying he was influential for these reasons, or we selected him out of all these deaths that happened in that year for a biography in the New York Times, which is a big freaking deal. So that is another way of making them notable. But the books he wrote, the articles he wrote, those do not make you notable. It might make the book notable. You can write a Wikipedia page for the book, but it isn't going to make the biography notable. So I'm going to go through those 4 citations, read them and take what I can, put them in the article, start filling it in using my own words, maybe a few quotes. And then I'm going to go and do a Google search, see what I can find. I will go through newspapers.com. He's got an unusual enough name that maybe I can find that. I can use Ancestry if I want to pull up maybe like who his parents were, or proof of where he was born, or a marriage. If I want, I could use Ancestry. I might find that same information. Ancestry will lead me to it on newspapers.com, like a marriage or a birth. And then I could cite that newspaper article showing his marriage or his birth. And because it'd be a clipping out of a newspaper. And I can do that. What else can I do? Oh, we got that photo. Hopefully I'll come across his image somewhere on the internet, and I can't use that image if I find it on the internet, but maybe it'll tell me which of those guys he is, and I can verify it and say, aha, he's the guy with the kitten in the front row. And maybe I can crop it and use that as the image in the info box. I mean, I can do that because the image is already uploaded to Wikimedia Commons. So I can look and see how that looks. It'll be kind of grainy. And then lower on the article, I can put the full image of all those guys there with their kittens and their sandals on, their chanclas on. And when I looked at the image, it did say the people's names. Hopefully I can figure out which one's which. If not, I'll just put just the people's names and the year and where they're at. Maybe it'll become clear eventually. So in other words, I'll have the image at the bottom of the article and then a little crop of just him in the upper corner in the info box. That's the plan, at least, if I don't find anything else. Because I don't want to put that whole picture on the info box. That would be just too big, and with all those people, it's too distracting. Verify what's in the article, his birthday and death day. I've already done that by looking at that other obituary. And then just go through, see if there's any other books he's written that are missing. Because right now there's a dissertation, and then there's a 1935 and a 1933. And I like them to be in order. So it's the dissertations in 31. Then right now it's this 35 and then 33. I'm going to reverse the order because I want to be oldest to newest. Look and see if there's any awards, professional organizations. If there isn't, then I'll just get rid of that whole category. So I hope this was of some interest to you, and just show how transparent I'm being on how I write these things, how I do this. Every editor does it a little bit differently. Some do it completely differently than I do. I like to just complete the task as I go. So I'll write and I will hyperlink, add the citations, everything in just as I go. So when I'm done going through the article, then I have to go through and do a simple spell check, grammar check, totally missing everything that is important because, I could stare at it 5 or 6 times. Everybody knows it. Oh, look, Karen's here. Karen, I'm not by myself. Oh, that's so nice. She says, look, step by step in real time, no gimmicks, no secrecy. It's so informative and interesting. I appreciate you, Susan, for teaching us how to make proper citation. Isn't she awesome? I'll send you the money later, Karen. No, I'm kidding. But she's right, because it, there's people keep talking about how I'm so secretive. I don't know how much more public can I be. I've got various videos up on my YouTube channel of me doing exactly this. Hours and hours of me talking to the camera by myself, watching me just stumble through it and misspell things. And I'm thinking through in my mind how I'm going to do this. But anyway, I think that this is probably going to take me, if I don't do it on camera, so I can actually just sit and read it, I bet I could probably get through this thing without just those 4 citations and, a quick look, but I don't think I'm going to find much more. I mean, he died in 1967. So, this is probably maybe 2 more hours of work, maybe 3 more hours of work, because I've already done all the structural stuff. That's the difficult stuff of finding things. And cleaning it out. Maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. But I'll put it up and share it around when I'm done, and maybe try another one before I have to go out of town. I'll let you go with me, and I'll close my eyes and click on a link, and you can see. Oh Lord, no, not that one. That was so confusing. But anyway, I'm going to learn a lot just doing this. But as I say, I don't need to be an expert. I'm just using the citations that were created by people who should have done a good job, like the New York Times or these archaeological magazines or books. I was going to say, so the books I'm using are on Google Books because they were already hyperlinked in the article that is live right now at this moment on Sunday. We're Sunday, yeah, Sunday night. And so I didn't search for those. They were already there. I could probably search and see if I could find more. But if you use a book, and you can use a book, you could just take a book off a shelf right here. If I had a book that had all that information in it, I don't need it to be on Google Books. I can open up the book, read what I need to read, go over here and type all the information in. I just won't have a URL, but I'll put the page number, the publisher, the ISP number, the title, the author, all that. So you don't have to have, you could use a print magazine like this is Skeptical Inquirer. I can use the print, the page number, the volume number, the date. I can use that as a citation. I don't have to have a URL. A lot of people think you have to have URLs. And that is part of the reason why I do edit articles that are books on my shelves here. And I've got a couple thousand books. So I've got a lot of books on ghosts, books on superstition, New Age, therapeutic touch, ESP, UFOs, cryptids, hoaxes. I'm just looking off the title of stuff, vaccines, occult, and so on, art. So, I mean, I could just kind of on a whim, I could just go over, close my eyes, grab a book off the shelf, and then I could use that somehow on a Wikipedia article somewhere without having it in Google Books or having a URL. And that's how you write Wikipedia articles, is that you get inspired by something. You watch a video and you get inspired. You go to a lecture and you say, oh, what an interesting topic. Or I wonder if that person has a Wikipedia page. Or you see an ad on Facebook and you say, what is that? And you do a search and you go, whoa, what is that? And then you write a Wikipedia article about it. Or somebody suggests something, or you come across it in an article. Like as I was looking these people up, I was looking to see if they had Wikipedia articles, and I looked and I said, this guy's got a Wikipedia article, but it's awful. I mean, maybe I'd feel inspired to go and rewrite his Wikipedia page. So there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just doing this randomly, and that's what a lot of Wikipedia editors do. They just feel inspired to do something. And I know I'm going to sleep well tonight. When I get this done, yes, he's long dead, 1967, but I'll feel better. I will feel like I've done something and contributed something in a small way. I've made him and his family, not him, he's dead, but I might have made his family, if he has family, they'll stumble across his Wikipedia page and they'll say, oh, Dad mattered. Dad did something awesome. And we've always known it, but now I realize it's the world did it. Wikipedia knows about Dad and the work that he did and how important it was. And of course, nobody's going to pay me or thank me about it, because they don't know who I am. They just will say Wikipedia did this. And it feels good. Really, it does. It's not changing the world, but it keeps my skills going. It keeps my edit history good. It's checking off things that need to be done. Yeah, I mean, there's probably lots of things I could be doing, like waking up my cats that are asleep over here and going and fixing that cassette that needs to be done. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Just Karen's here. Oh, somebody has said something about coast to coast. Oh my God, they're talking about me on Coast to Coast AM. Of course, they're talking about me. I hope they're talking about this amazing Wikipedia page I'm writing for this guy that I can't even remember his name. His last name is Johnson. I hope they're talking about that. But no, of course they're not. They're talking about me on Coast to Coast. And I will just completely ignore it, because what am I going to do? There's nothing I can do. How frustrating, but whatever. Good night, all. Take care. Where's the button to exit this name?